Antonio Ortega, LLC, your trusted real estate partner in South Florida, provides personalized service and will contribute 10% from his professional fee towards your closing costs, helping you save big. For details, visit AntonioOrtegaLLC.com, click on Stories, or find the offer at the bottom of any article. Let Antonio Ortega, LLC make your next real estate transaction smooth and rewarding. Get started today by visiting AntonioOrtegaLLC.com. Okay, so today we are diving headfirst into Broward County real estate.
Okay.
And so it's not just about houses, right? It's about finding like your own slice of paradise.
Yeah.
We're talking about a place where you can practically taste the salt air in Fort Lauderdale, get to Wave in Lauderdale by the sea, or escape to a peaceful community like Weston. Broward County has this this incredible knack for offering a bit of everything, would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's that variety that makes Broward so unique. It's not a one-size-fits-all market, right?
Yep.
You have everything from those iconic beachfront condos to, like sprawling equestrian estates, and then everything in between.
That's like you're stepping into a real estate brochure.
Yes, exactly.
So let's break it down a little bit. The article that we're diving into today really emphasizes this diversity.
Okay.
On one hand, you've got the glitz and glam of Las Olas Isles with these jaw-dropping waterfront properties. But then you turn the page and you find yourself transported to this charming, almost old Florida feel of Lauderdale by the sea.
Right.
How does that even work? It's like these two completely different worlds existing within the same county.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about micro markets, Broward County is a tapestry of these distinct communities, each with its own personality, architectural styles, and even price points.
Okay.
For someone who thrives on energy and maybe wants to walk to a different restaurant every night, Fort Lauderdale might be the perfect fit.
Yeah.
But for someone who prioritizes tranquility and a strong sense of community, Weston might be more their speed. It's all about understanding what matters most to you.
Right.
And then we can connect those dots to a specific location.
Okay, so then what about this surge in new construction we keep hearing about?
Yeah.
The article mentioned that Broward County is practically booming with new developments.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of construction happening right now, which is, incredibly exciting for many buyers, Imagine stepping into a brand new home, fresh paint, the latest appliances that never been lived in smell. However, like any major purchase, it's crucial to go in with your eyes wide open.
Right.
New construction comes with its own set of considerations.
Okay.
Potential delays, the importance of scrutinizing builder contracts, and really understanding what's included in the base price versus, what's considered an upgrade.
So it's not as simple as just picking out your favorite countertops and calling it a day.
Not quite. And that's where having an experienced realtor like Antonio Ortega, someone who really understands the intricacies of new construction, can be invaluable.
Right.
They can help you navigate those complexities, advocate for your needs, and ensure you're getting the most out of your investment.
And speaking of Antonio, the article mentioned his incredible offer to contribute 10% of his fee towards your closing costs, which would be huge, especially in a market like this.
Absolutely. That kind of dedication to his clients is commendable.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, remember that a realtor brings a lot to the table, especially in a market as nuanced as Broward County. Think about it, right? They have their finger on the pulse of market trends.
Mm-hmm.
They can spot potential red flags in contracts that you might miss.
Yeah.
And their negotiation skills can end up saving you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. It's like having a trusted advisor in your corner, someone who speaks the language of real estate fluently and can guide you through all the complexities.
Yeah, it's that local expertise that makes all the difference, wouldn't you say? And speaking of local, the article really honed in on the importance of using those hyper-focused search filters on real estate websites. They even called out zip codes as like a prime example. They mentioned 33328 specifically.
Right. That's a fantastic point, and it highlights something that a lot of first-time buyers don't realize, which is how incredibly localized the real estate market can be.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking about different cities, right? But even within those cities, specific zip codes can have drastically different price points, property types, even school districts.
Oh, wow.
It's about going granular, understanding the nuances of each little pocket within Broward County.
So it's not enough to just say, like I want to live in Fort Lauderdale,
Yeah.
you really need to break it down to that zip code level to get a true sense of what you're getting into.
Exactly, exactly. Because that seemingly small difference in zip codes could be the difference between finding, a charming bungalow within your budget or ending up priced out of the market that you thought you knew.
It's all about the details, those layers
Hmm.
that you might not even think to consider until you're, really deep in the search process.
Right.
And that's where, again, that realtor's expertise becomes so invaluable, knowing the ins and outs of each little neighborhood.
Precisely, yeah. And speaking of neighborhoods, the article kind of like, paints these vivid pictures of some really distinct areas within Broward County.
Right.
We talked about Fort Lauderdale, of course, but what about a place like Hollywood with its iconic Broad Walk?
Oh, yeah, yeah. The article mentioned a blend of historic and modern homes there.
Right, exactly. Hollywood is a fascinating example of how Broward County caters to like a variety of tastes.
Yeah.
You've got that classic Florida beach town vibe, that energy on the Broadwalk, but you also have these established neighborhoods with character, even some historic properties. It's a really unique blend of old and new.
And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have Davie, which the article described as having this like intriguing blend of rural charm and modern convenience.
Yeah.
They even mentioned something about like an equestrian culture.
Yes, yes. Davie is known for its equestrian community.
Okay.
Imagine having, acres of land, sprawling pastures for horses, that connection to nature,
Wow.
all while still being within easy reach of city amenities. That's the unique appeal of Davie. Of course, owning equestrian property comes with its own set of considerations, zoning regulations, land management, and the costs associated with that. But for someone with a passion for horses, it can be a dream come true.
So we've got the bustling beaches, the charming historic districts, the equestrian estates.
Right.
It's like Broward County has a little something for everyone.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's reflected in the price points as well.
Okay.
You have everything from, those multi-million-dollar waterfront properties in Fort Lauderdale and Los Olas Isles where you're paying for those unobstructed ocean views and exclusivity to more affordable options in areas like Cooper City or parts of Pembroke Pines.
So let's talk numbers for a moment. The article briefly touched on, using those search filters to narrow down your search based on your budget, but it didn't really delve into specific price ranges. Can you give our listeners a sense of what to expect?
Of course, of course. As I mentioned, those luxury waterfront properties will naturally command top dollar.
Yeah.
We're talking potentially 7 figures, even 8 figures for larger estates or prime locations. But if we're looking at, more that median home price, it varies significantly by location.
Right.
You mentioned Cooper City earlier, which is known for its family-friendly atmosphere and excellent schools. You can still find single-family homes there in the high 6 figures, even dipping into the low 7 figures, depending on size and amenities. Whereas Weston, with its master-planned communities and reputation for kind of like upscale living, generally starts in the low 7 figures and goes up from there.
So there's a pretty wide range, but it sounds like location is key when it comes to finding a property that aligns with your budget and your lifestyle.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's another area where working with a local expert like Antonio Ortega can be, incredibly beneficial. He can guide you towards neighborhoods that not only fit your budget, but also your priorities, whether that's access to top-rated schools, proximity to the beach, or a sense of community.
And speaking of Weston, the article highlighted it as a prime example of a master planned community.
Right.
Can you explain what that actually means for someone who might not be familiar with the term?
Certainly, certainly. A master plan community like Weston is essentially a large-scale residential development that's been meticulously designed to offer a comprehensive living experience.
Right.
Think of it as kind of like a self-contained community, right, with its own parks, recreational facilities, sometimes even schools and shopping centers.
Right.
It's about creating a cohesive and convenient lifestyle within a specific area.
So it's like having everything you need right at your fingertips.
Exactly, exactly. And that's a major draw for many families. You have that sense of security, that community spirit, and often a higher level of upkeep and maintenance compared to a traditional neighborhood. Of course, that level of planning and amenity-rich living typically comes with a premium price tag, both in terms of property values and often HOA fees.
Ah, yes. HOA fees,
Yeah.
the often overlooked aspect of homeownership. So it's not just about the mortgage payment. It's
Yeah.
about factoring in those ongoing costs as well.
Precisely, precisely. And HOA fees can vary significantly depending on the community and the amenities offered.
Right.
It's something to, carefully consider when budgeting for your new home.
It's those hidden costs that can really sneak up on you if you're not prepared.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why having a realtor who understands the intricacies of these communities, who can explain the HOA fees, the regulations, and what they mean for your lifestyle can be invaluable.
So it's not just about finding a house you love. It's about finding the right community that fits your overall vision.
You got it. It's about finding that sweet spot where your lifestyle aligns with, the community's offerings.
Yeah, it's about, like you said, more than just four walls and a roof.
Right.
It's about finding that sense of belonging.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's something you can't always quantify on a spreadsheet.
Right.
It's about experiencing these communities firsthand, walking the streets, talking to residents, and really getting a feel for the vibe.
And that's where those open houses and neighborhood tours can be so valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one thing to see pictures online, but it's another to actually step foot in a house, feel the energy of a neighborhood.
Absolutely. And that's another, advantage of having a local expert like Antonio on your side.
Yeah.
He knows these neighborhoods like the back of his hand.
Right.
He can tell you which streets are known for their block parties, which parks are popular with families, even which coffee shops have the best local buzz. It's that insider knowledge that can make all the difference in finding that perfect fit.
It's like having a personal tour guide to, like, the best kept secrets of Broward County real estate.
Exactly. And speaking of hidden gems, the article briefly touched on Pembroke Pines as an area that's, seen significant growth recently.
Yeah, it mentioned something about it being, like, a bit more affordable than some of the other areas we've discussed.
That's right. While Pembroke Pines might not have the same kind of immediate name recognition as, say, Fort Lauderdale or Weston,
Yeah.
it's quickly becoming a sought-after destination, especially for first-time home buyers and young families. It offers a great balance of affordability, amenities, and that, suburban lifestyle that many people find appealing.
So it's like that up-and-coming area that's still somewhat under the radar.
Exactly, exactly. And that's something to keep in mind as you're exploring your options.
Right.
Sometimes those areas that are on the cusp of becoming the next big thing can offer incredible value for, savvy buyers.
It's all about looking beyond the obvious,
Right.
Thinking outside of that beachfront box and considering all the possibilities that Broward County has to offer.
Precisely, because at the end of the day, finding the right home is about finding a place where you can truly envision yourself, building a life, creating memories, and Broward County, with its tapestry of diverse communities, offers that opportunity in spades.
So if our listeners are feeling a bit overwhelmed by, the sheer variety of options, what's the one piece of advice you would give them to help them navigate this, exciting but sometimes daunting real estate market?
That's a great question. I would say don't be afraid to ask for help. Find a realtor you trust, someone who understands your vision, and lean on their expertise. Because finding the right home isn't just a transaction, it's a journey. And having a trusted guide by your side can make all the difference.
It's about finding that partner who can help you navigate the twists and turns, celebrate the victories, and ultimately find that place you can truly call home. Well said. So whether you're dreaming of waking up to ocean views every morning, sipping sweet tea on your wraparound porch in Davie, or exploring the up-and-coming neighborhoods of Pembroke Pines, it seems like Broward County has something to offer everyone. And if you're ready to turn that dream into a reality, you know where to find us. For more insights, check out the full article and Antonio Ortega LLC's contact information in the show notes. Until next time, happy house hunting.